Hello, avid readers, book nerds, or casual observers. Welcome to the Read Along, brought to you by the Lit Round Table. I'm Anna.
And I'm Joseph, and this is our read along of The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Welcome, everyone, to week 6 of The Poppy War.
Week 6, talking about chapters 13 through 16. What a section.
We have our band of lovable goofballs.
Yeah, we had gotten kind of comfortable with the names that we had before, and now we have all new names. So.
Right.
But they're fun. The characters are very fun.
They are fun. I love them all. I really enjoy this. It's like, the whole found family, like oddball group. Like, I love that trope so much. Mm-hmm. So I'm very here for it.
Yeah.
This is kind of reminding me of like, in Hunter x Hunter, how there's like the Zodiacs who all have like a different animal.
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibes that I'm getting with this. We've got like,
or even Fruits
the guy
Basket.
Yes, but I went the Hunter x Hunter route because they like fight.
That's true.
They don't
turn into their animals.
Right. Well, I mean the monkey guy a little bit.
That's true.
Just a little bit. Excuse me. We've got like pig guy that fights with a rake.
Mm-hmm.
We've got like a watery guy who just like is a barrel of water.
Yeah.
So interesting.
And we have some interesting dynamics of, like, there's the science boy who's very...
Go
ahead.
I was about to say, I just remembered the fox guy actually can turn into a fox, because he does to get away from...
You're right.
Monkey Man. But, yeah, there's like a science guy who's not actually like a worshiper of a god.
Right, he's not a shaman at all.
No.
But
he's really just a mad scientist.
He likes gunpowder a lot.
Yes.
So he kind of reminds me of Interest of the Emerald Sea. What's her name? Annie? Was it Annie?
Yeah, the cannoneer who can't aim.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just needs glasses. But he doesn't need glasses.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course we've got Altan with his trident and his brooding.
It's pretty intense.
Yes.
The
so much angst.
Yeah. And we had the inevitable question from one of the Cike members about whether or not Rin and Altan are not actually, or if the Spearleys are not actually extinct, because Rin and Altan are both Spearleys. And Rin got very embarrassed because she totally has a thing for him, but then admitted to the group that she had had her womb destroyed, which the boys were confused about, but the girls got it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty funny, honestly.
I'm really glad that there wasn't some kind of like, oh, why did you do that, you idiot? Oh,
right.
Like you doomed the Spearly race because of your selfishness. Like, I would have been really disappointed if that's the direction that it went.
Yes, me too.
I'll just say I feel like that's the direction it would have meant had this had a male author, but since
completely agree.
Yeah, since we have a female author, that's not the way it went. And thank you, R.F. Kuang, for not doing that. Because that would have been gross.
Yeah, it would have been pretty upsetting, honestly. So, but it was nice to have that, like, addressed. And now it doesn't have to be hanging over the group of will they, won't they.
Yeah, we've got this... we had this cool like nighttime raid happening where this was kind of like the showcasing of everyone's abilities, like how the group works as a unit.
Yeah, poor Rin. Totally biffed it coming out the gate.
She did. She is definitely struggling with she's got some internal struggles right now with Zhong's teachings and Altan's coaching and like which one to listen to, because the Phoenix is kind of scary.
The Phoenix is terrifying.
Yeah.
We heard a little more. I don't remember who was telling her some more of the, like, history of the Spearleys. I can't remember who that was, but was basically like, yeah, part of the reason the Spearleys are gone is because the Phoenix is scary.
Yeah.
And in a scary and also temperamental. Which Rin has kind of been experiencing when she's tried to tap into that again.
Yeah. I think that because she also saw a vision of the Spearly woman again.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
When
And
she
creepy.
That was creepy. So like when this battle's happening, she pops some poppy seeds and tries to get just high enough to summon the Phoenix. But she sees this Spearly woman again, and she's like, you're so close to giving in, but you can't give in. The Phoenix just takes. It doesn't, like, it's gonna destroy you. Blah blah blah. And in my mind, so they told that story about the leader of Spear and the Red Emperor, and how, like, oh, she was in love with the Red, and that whole thing. I think that's her, and I think she's trying to warn Rin to not follow the Phoenix, because the Phoenix, I think, is the real reason why Spearly got burned up. You know, so
I mean, we kind of see that with Altan. So he admits, or he tells Rin that the way she can use her fire is to just get angry and basically stay angry forever. Kind of Hulk-like.
yeah,
My secret is that I'm always angry.
he did have that line, didn't he?
He totally did. But I think that we're seeing in real time how detrimental that is to him. Because after they have that nighttime raid that goes pretty well and gets them some good attention from the other divisions and generals, whatever. But then they have the bombing
Oof.
that goes very badly. And after that incident, Altan basically puts himself in timeout for
Yeah.
a couple weeks. Like, he's tapped out for a while. And it's pretty clear that he is just a raging fire monster.
Yeah. Because one of the other Sykes had tried to see him, and when she came out of his office, she smelt like smoke. So he's just a raging ball of fury right now.
And I think that can only be sustainable for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to get burned out, literally. I think there's going to be a moment later on, and maybe even in this book, where that'd be an interesting prediction. Maybe the Phoenix ends up burning Alton up, and Rin ends up becoming the leader of
The Cike?
you know.
Maybe.
I mean, she would have to, like, obviously a lot of character things need to happen before she would get chosen as the leader, but I could see that being like where her character goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that too.
I'm also I'm scared for the one, because there's one of them that uses a bow. And that's like her thing. And we see on the cover of the book is who I assume is Rin, also with a bow. So I'm scared that that girl's gonna bite it and she's gonna have to, like, fill in.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be. I hope not. I like that girl.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
The monkey guy is also being pretty constantly tortured by his gods.
Yeah, bro's like hearing voices and flying off the handle, like trying to kill people sometimes.
Yeah. So yeah, we're getting a lot of examples of how the gods are dangerous for humans.
Yeah.
Which is what
Yeah.
Zhang was warning her about. And I think that's part of her trepidation. And part of her confusion on who to follow. So we'll see how that progresses. We didn't really end up with a clear line for her of like how she was going to try and proceed. I didn't feel like in this section.
No, I think that this is just very much her getting her bearings and introducing the new cast with this group. Trying to figure out how she's going to place in the group because she has, she's not summoning the Phoenix yet. She hasn't been able to. But I think that the next chapter is going to. I'm interested to see what happens in the next chapter because at the very end, so there was like the bombing and everything with the Federation coming in with a fake peace deal, which I hate to admit that June was right and they should have just killed them before they got there. But hindsight's 2020.
Just annoying that it was June.
Yeah, it is
he's
annoying
such a
that it was him.
meanie.
But a new division shows up, the 7th, I think, is what. Anyway, division number doesn't matter. But
It was 7.
Oh, cool! I was right. Naja was there.
Right.
Rin sees him, and they lock eyes. Romantically, probably.
Naja?
I think that they're totally going to be a thing. Now
Am
that
I
it's
just
confirmed that
misremembering who Naja was? Was he the one she fought with all the time?
Yeah.
Look at me.
And then
we moved on, and I totally like wiped the old names except for Katai.
Right. Because they fought together, and he was injured by the general, the Federation general, but then Rin murked him with the Phoenix powers. But I guess he's not a cripple because he's riding in with the army now. So he recovered and he's alive. And I'm interested to see what happens now that, because like Rin has like, it's gonna be like a worlds colliding thing, like her old academy days are gonna be colliding with her new Cike days, and it's gonna be this weird thing. But I think that she's gonna realize quickly that her and Naja should have just been friends way earlier.
Yeah, I think so.
Because they had a lot of compatibility in that fight in Synagard. And I think that it's going to be like, friend!
Yeah.
Even though they used to hate each other.
Yeah, she has had some like transition pains or growing pains moving into the Cike because she's so used to the regiment of Synagard and like, this is what we do, this is how you dress, this is where you go, this is who you answer to. And now at the Cike, because they're like not a division, but they are, it's just way more loosey-goosey. So she's been struggling and missing that routine and kind of guidelines on how to be. So I think that Najan will also bring that stability of routine back to.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
I wonder if there will be some kind of clash between Altan and Naja.
I don't know how there couldn't be.
It's going to be like the two men in her life, like possibly interacting with each other. At least the two potential love interests in my mind. Yeah, interesting.
I mean, it seems like Altan has taken a special interest in her, so I don't think that that's a bad assumption to come to. That there's some kind of romantic inkling there.
We might get some kind of weird love triangle situation. It might happen.
It could. It certainly could.
You have to choose one of us. Me, the guy that can turn into the Human Torch, or me, not Zuko. Who, like, which is interesting because Zuko can also use fire powers in Avatar, but not the Zuko, like...
Yeah.
The clear Zuko, like, transplant is powerless. That's funny.
It is funny.
If you combine the two, they become Zuko, for sure.
For real. And she is Katara. I know that Katara, and I know that she ends up with Aang, but...
I ship her and Zuko
there
so
was
hard,
so
though.
much there was such a possibility of that happening.
Yes.
I think the writers also thought it was going to happen, and then it didn't. Anyway. That's a different podcast episode.
Different franchise altogether. So yeah, I'm excited for the next chapters.
Me too.
The warfare is becoming brutal and gross, and citizens are suffering.
It's heart-wrenching.
Yeah. The way that the author is like depicting warfare in this setting is really, really rough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Which, in a lot of ways, I appreciate. Even though
Same.
it's not necessarily fun reading. But I appreciate that she's not keeping us in a place of like, oh, it's just these heroes fighting villains. It's real people that are suffering real consequences from these things that are happening. So, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you do get a glimpse of this kind of dark, like nitty-gritty spotlight on the public in, we didn't read it, but I read it, the next few books in the First Law trilogy with Joe Abercrombie.
Sure.
Like there's some really, really like crazy stuff with cities being under siege and like having the spotlight shown on how it affects the common guy that's just like chilling in the city. He's lived here his whole life. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I like you said, I appreciate the spotlight on that, on those people, because oftentimes the focus is on the heroes on their epic quest, not on the brutality of just these normies living their lives, you know?
Mm-hmm. Of course. So.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I guess I really think it's only going to get darker.
But yeah, I think it is only going to get darker for poor Rin and the Cikes. Yeah. And really, like, poor them, but like, they can at least defend themselves. The people in this poor town are really getting the brunt of it.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. I guess we'll find out with the next reading.
Yeah. Speaking of, so for next time, you're going to read chapters 17 through 20.
Cool.
We only have 3 more weeks of this book.
Yeah, man. We'll plug them through. Alrighty, well, I guess until next time, happy reading.
And we'll talk to you next time.
Later.